What's going on is Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me. So, one of the benefits of having my office in downtown Detroit, right, is that you get to have authentic conversations, or you get to overhear different people having conversations while you out and about. They had the ice skating thing popping off and different restaurants, and I went and got something to eat and so on and so forth, right? And one of the conversations that I overheard, obviously, was the subject of the month was Meg the Stallion and Tory Lanez. And naturally, it was some young guys and a couple older guys, and they all had the same sentiment. So, my natural conclusion was that they were simps, but this was basically the gist of the conversation. I'd bust her down anyway. That was the conclusion. After all of the conversation back and forth, and I didn't actually participate in the conversation, I just observed because I didn't want to influence them. And I genuinely wanted to get the sentiment of what a lot of guys' thoughts were. And that was the conclusion. I'd bust her down anyway. Before we deep dive into this, make sure you tap into the Patreon. The link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. Hit a like for the YouTube algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and then turn on your notifications because we cook up each and every day. And even though I'm sort of on a vacation, I'm still dropping videos from y'all because I want to give y'all my sentiment and I want to stay connected to what's going on out here in the streets. Even though I got a mini vacation from live streaming, we still need to have these conversations, right? And I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying having these conversations. But back to our regularly scheduled program. That was the sentiment. The sentiment was, I'd still bust her down anyway. Now, me personally, that doesn't extend to me because I'm a married man as usual. And there's no Derek Jackson-ish type of behavior going on here. However, and Dion is over there laughing. I might have to show y'all Dion in a minute. Y'all haven't seen Dion in a while. Dion made some cameos on some videos years and years ago, but we'll get to that in a minute. That was a sentiment. And that tells me that it doesn't matter what happens or what women do or what happens to certain men in court. And this is why you continuously see what's happening in family court. And, there is no updating of the family court laws, even though we have equal everything. And we still have to believe all women, and you still going to be getting Me Too'd and all of that other type of stuff because most guys don't have the level of dick discipline to actually do the thing that's in their best interest, A. And then B, you don't think that it's going to happen to you until it happens to you. And so I'm too wise and I'm too smart. Now, I'm a C student, but I'm smart enough to know that I'm never going to put myself in harm's way by subjecting myself to the same thing that we see play out on a regular basis. And if it can happen to somebody like Tory Lanez, in which a woman can go on Gail's show, and her testimony can be completely different from what it is that she substantiated on national TV. Or whatever it is, your opinion of it is, we all know, the overwhelming majority of us, some of us are going to stay on cold no matter what, but a lot of us truly know that it's egregious to think that a guy should be possibly facing 22 years when you can start to question the character or whether or not a person is telling the truth based off of the testimony that was corroborated in the people that substantiated these same arguments as far as the different lawyers and the people that attended the trial, and they gave us this information and understanding, right? And I can't wait for the transcripts to be released because I want to see what was said for myself. Even though you can't get the sentiment, it's almost like a text message, right? And that when somebody types you out a text message, you don't know the tone in which they type in it or whatever, and it's a lot of misunderstandings. However, I still want to see the transcripts, and I'm disappointed. I'm very much disappointed, not in Meg the Stallion, because women do what they're doing and, they're going to be whatever they're going to be. But the thing that empowered people to be the way that they are is the simps that then substantiated the behavior and will still advocate for and cape for and still will bust it down. And that brings me to my final point. My final point to you guys. And, I hope to not even have to talk about this going forward, but I got to hit it home. I got to press this down into you because I really want you to get the point, the people that rock with me, right? As long as you have people that continue to perpetuate and then empower bad behavior, you will never get a different result, which means that this war, this quote unquote gender war, will continue until the end of time, and it will never stop. Because as many guys is saying, hey man, look at what they did to me, or hey man, look at what's happening over there to Tory Lanez, or hey man, look how much money Johnny Depp lost even though Amber Heard really got a slap on the wrist, and hey man, look at what happened to the Duke lacrosse team and that the girl was able to accuse them of doing something that they didn't do and then they lost all of their scholarships and their reputation was ruined. Or, hey, man, look how many people is getting out of jail for being accused of crimes that they didn't commit. No matter how many times you see it, there's going to be a substantial amount of people, specifically guys, that think what they dig and that are unable to separate themselves in order to make the best decision for themselves, which then put everybody that comes after them and around them in harm's way, because you continue to substantiate the narrative and you put men in the crosshairs of women that then feel empowered to say what they want to say without any kind of consequences that come behind it. If you start making examples of people, for example, and you say, okay, for every woman that get caught lying, the sentence that would have went to the person that they lied against then goes to that person, because you can't ruin somebody's life and then be able to walk away without any kind of consequences that come along with it. For every woman that get caught lying, they gotta deal with the same sentencing guidelines as they accuse the person of. You will start to get different results. But we all know that nobody is going to advocate for that. We all know that it's always going to be a believe all women sentiment. We all know that there's going to be a group of men, the large majority of them, that will still mess with her and bust her down. And this ain't even got nothing to do with Meg. This has everything to do with the women that think like this, or the women that feel comfortable enough to do what they want to do without any consequences that come along with it. This is what you get. This is a sentiment. This is how things play out. We can't trust you, fellas, to then do the thing that's in the best interest of all of us, because the only thing you care about is getting your cock wet, bro. That's it. You don't care nothing about your homie. You will sell your homie out just to be able to get your cock wet without even thinking twice about it, and then just say bros over hoes, and he's supposed to, like, that's just how dudes operate. They've been so weak for women since Adam, right? Since Adam. Adam wasn't even able to get control of Eve. Eve was rocking with the serpent, and Adam just went right along with her right after she came, and when you gonna stand up, fam? When you gonna be the man that you're supposed to be? When you gonna get yourself out of a position to then be accused of something? Because you see what's happening. This is not a secret anymore. It's not something that's just happening behind closed doors. This is something that's already been substantiated and been playing out in front of our eyes for years now. When you gonna teach your son how to protect himself? You can't trust him. You can't trust nobody. More importantly, you can't trust the dude that's sitting right next to you, because he is still bust her down. That's my sentiment. I'd love to know what you guys think. Leave a like, for the algorithm. Subscribe to the channel. Make sure you tap into the Patreon. Again, we dropping an exclusive video tomorrow. And then last but not least, let me know in the comments what your thoughts are, because I'm passionate about this, because I'm tired of seeing guys get railroaded. And I don't have to be the one to suffer as a result of it in order to be able to advocate for the best thing for us. And please don't let me be the only one. I want to know what your thoughts are. I love you. I appreciate you. I'm going to holler at you later. Peace.